I was weeks away from marrying the woman I loved until she vanished. No calls, no goodbye. Just a cold silence. I thought she betrayed me. Turns out it was my own family. Growing up, my family was close. At least that's what I believed. I was the oldest of 3 brothers, the responsible one. My mom always said I was too serious, while my younger brother, Jake, was the golden child. He had charm, charisma, and always got away with everything. Still, I never thought there was real jealousy between us. When I met Alina, my world shifted. She was intelligent, gentle, full of laughter that felt like summer sunlight. After 3 years together, I proposed. She said yes through tears of joy. It felt perfect. Everything did, until it didn't. Just months before the wedding, Alina changed. Her smile dimmed. Our late-night talks became silence. I asked her what was wrong, but she said she was just tired. Then, 2 weeks before the wedding, she ended it. No explanation. Just gone. I was devastated. My heart felt like it had been torn apart, and the worst part was not knowing why. I spiraled, stopped going out, deleted our wedding playlist, and returned the rings. Everyone around me told me to move on, that she didn't deserve me if she could leave like that. My mom and Jake were the loudest, so I tried to forget her. Years passed. I worked, dated here and there, but nothing ever came close to what I had with Alina. I carried that ache quietly, buried it under routines and birthdays and holidays. Life went on. Then last year, 14 years after the breakup, my mom got sick. It wasn't serious, but she was in bed for weeks, and maybe the guilt made her soft. One night, out of nowhere, she said, "You know, Alina never really left you. We pushed her away." I stared at her, not believing what I'd heard. "What?" I asked. "What do you mean you pushed her away?" She looked at me with eyes full of regret. "Jake told us you weren't ready, that you were cheating. He said he caught you with another woman. We thought you were too proud to admit it, so we told Alina. We thought we were protecting her." My body went cold. I couldn't speak. My mother kept rambling, maybe thinking that explaining it would make it better. But how do you explain something like that? How do you justify taking someone's future away based on a lie? I went straight to Jake's house that night. I hadn't seen him in months. He'd moved to another city, had a family, a business. When he opened the door and saw me, I could see the guilt hit him like a train. "You told her I was cheating?" I demanded. He didn't deny it. He just sighed and said, "I thought she wasn't right for you. You were too focused, too serious. I figured I'd help you dodge a bullet." Bullet? He took away the love of my life like it was some act of mercy. I yelled. I screamed. I said things I'll never be able to take back. But nothing I said would ever be worse than what he did. He stole from me, not money or fame, but the quiet kind of happiness that builds in morning coffees and shared dreams. Lena moved on. I found her years later, married, 2 kids. She looked happy. I didn't say a word. What would I say? "Hey, remember me? My family lied, and that's why you never married me?" What good would that do? After confronting Jake, I cut ties with both him and my mother. Forgiveness isn't something I owe them. I grieved again, but this time it was for a life I never got to live. I poured myself into writing, into sharing my story with others who've been betrayed by the people they trusted most. At first I thought I was being dramatic, cutting off family over a misunderstanding. But this wasn't a misunderstanding. This was deliberate, calculated. Jake knew what he was doing. My mother knew something felt off but still went along with it. And no one thought I deserved the truth. I spent years thinking I had failed, that I wasn't enough, that maybe love really wasn't meant for me. Now I realize it wasn't fate or bad timing, it was sabotage. And it robbed me of not just a partner, but the man I could have become alongside her. I tried reaching out to Alina once. I never sent the message. I still have it in my drafts. Just her name makes my chest tighten. It's not because I want her back. I know she's happy now. But because I never got to say goodbye properly. She never got to hear the truth from me. I spent months in silence after the confession. Therapy helped. Not with forgetting, but with understanding how betrayal can be invisible and long-lasting. You expect pain from enemies, not the people who raised you. I started writing letters. To Alina, to myself, to the version of me that never got to be a husband, a father, a man in love. I burned most of them. Some I kept. Writing gave me power. It made me realize I wasn't just the victim of someone else's lie. I was still the author of my own life. I moved to a new city, started fresh. Got into photography, something Alina used to do when we were dating. I capture moments now, for people who still have what I lost. Weddings, newborns, anniversaries. I frame love for others because, in a strange way, it heals me to know it still exists, even if it wasn't mine. Sometimes wonder what life would have been like if I'd married Alina, if Jake hadn't interfered. But then I remind myself, wondering won't bring it back. Healing is letting go of the version of your life that never happened. What hurts the most isn't losing her. It's losing the part of myself that believed my family would always have my back. There's a memory I've never told anyone, not even in therapy. It was 2 nights before Alina left. We were sitting on the couch watching reruns of an old sitcom, the kind she loved. She rested her head on my chest, and I ran my fingers through her hair. We didn't speak much that night, but her breathing was off, tight, anxious. I remember asking, "Are you okay?" She looked up at me and smiled, that small, sad kind of smile people give when they're carrying something too heavy. "I'm just tired," she said. "You've been so busy lately, I miss us." I told her I was just stressed with wedding planning and things would calm down. "We're okay," I said, kissing her forehead. "We're almost there." But in hindsight, she wasn't asking for reassurance. She was asking for a reason to stay. She already knew something was wrong. Maybe she had already talked to Jake. Maybe the lies had already done their damage. But she stayed one more night. Maybe to say goodbye, maybe to remember how it used to feel. And I missed it. I missed the moment where I could have said, "Tell me what's really wrong." That moment haunts me more than anything. Because sometimes the words you didn't say echo louder than the ones you did. And maybe that's what makes this whole thing so tragic. It wasn't just that I lost her. It's that I didn't even know I was supposed to fight for her. If you're listening to this and you've been betrayed by someone you loved, know this. You are not weak for being hurt. You are not foolish for trusting. That trust is what made you good. Their betrayal doesn't define you. Their choices say everything about them and nothing about your worth. I learned the hard way that family isn't always who shares your blood. Sometimes it's the people who walk in during your darkest night and sit with you in silence. I have a few of those now, friends who never knew Alina but held me while I grieved her anyway. Would I go back and change the past if I could? Absolutely. But since I can't, I tell my story. So maybe someone else out there doesn't have to lose as much as I did. And if by chance Alina ever hears this, I hope she knows I never stopped loving her. I just had to learn how to live without her. This story isn't just about losing Alina. It's about losing illusions. About becoming a man who finally understands that sometimes the deepest scars come from people who once held your hand. And still, here I am, breathing, hoping, healing, and maybe, just maybe, ready to love again.